If you've been struggling to play your favorite songs, in this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can learn a song twice as fast so you no longer have to be frustrated. And if you're new to this channel, you're probably wondering, who is this guy? Well, my name is Ty Keller. I consider myself to be a virtuoso guitar player, and I don't say that to be pretentious. I'm an actively gigging guitar player. I played a show a couple weeks ago with some huge acts. I'm releasing 2 songs every week for at least the next 3 months. And guitar is what I do. Music is what I do all day long. So, you're probably wondering, okay, Ty, I want to learn a song twice as fast. How do I do that? Well, this is going to sound backwards, but you actually got to slow it down to 50%. And there's 3 ways that you can do this. One is you can slow it down yourself, which is oftentimes the hardest thing to do because we always want to go fast. And there's a famous quote by Franz Liszt that said, if you want to play fast, first you got to play it slow. And when you think you're playing it slow, play it even slower. And what that means is you have to double check yourself into playing it slow because we have this tendency to want to speed up, even me. So I found that slowing it down yourself can work, but you really have to lock it in. Like you have to tap your foot. And what's so great about this is it's also training your internal clock, which is your one of your most powerful skills as a musician. You could say that it's half of the battle, is training that internal clock, that internal rhythm. So slowing it down, not only is it going to train your fingers, your ear, it's also going to train your internal clock. The second way is you can use a metronome, which will literally force you to slow it down. Now, I can only take so much of the metronome, probably an hour maybe 2 hours, but that will literally, you have a measurement going on, which is the metronome that will force you to slow it down. I'm sorry, it's probably not what you wanted to hear, how to play it faster, but it works. The only way you're gonna know if it works is if you try it. Not just once, like half in, I'm gonna slow it down to 50%. No, and I'm gonna get into the last way right now. So the last way is you can use software, or you can even use YouTube, but there's a software that allows you to keep the sound integrity of the song. So, because when you use YouTube to slow it down to half speed, it gets kind of like, the sound quality doesn't sound as good. So, I'm actually using the software right now, and it's very powerful. And I want to explain to you, before I go into the software and how to use it, I want you to think about learning a language. Like if you were to learn Japanese, which is the language I'm learning right now, because I have songs that I've written in Japanese, how do you think I'm going to learn how to speak the Japanese? You think I'm going to be able to just look at it and speak it fluently and fast? Or if you, hopefully you've learned a language, but you know you got to start very slow and you got to start with the basics in your pronunciation. And then if you stay consistent, like I've been over this last week, I put like 4 or 5 hours in, not all in one session, but over a week, I spent about an hour, not even every day, five days out of the week, I spent about an hour. And you know what I did? I slowed it down to 50% in the software, and then I'm pronouncing the words. So here's the beautiful part, and here's what the suggestion I would recommend that you do. I'll link the software. It's called Transcribe. You just go on the internet and look up Transcribe, guitar, or whatever, you should be able to find it. If you can't find it, if you can't go to Google and do a simple search for this software, I don't know what to tell you. I'm pretty sure there's a 30-day free trial, and then it's like a one-time purchase. So it's a great software and tool, and it's one I'm using right now to learn how to sing in Japanese. And not only is it helping me to speak it, it's training my ear and helping me to sing. And I really believe this now more than ever after learning these songs and singing them, is that when you slow it down, you can hear it. And training your ear is a big factor in how good you are at guitar. It's a good factor at how good you are at singing. It's a good factor at any instrument. It's not just about the physical playing it. It's about hearing it. Even my vocal chords or whatever, I'm pretty sure training it slowly, again, I'm not a classically trained singer, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure by slowing down the song to 50% and singing the notes that I'm singing at half of the speed is going to literally train my vocal chords. I think they're called vocal cords, something like that. It'll train that to sing it better as well. So what I do, and you can do this with any song, and I've done it with songs too. This is why I know this works for, I was like, okay, how am I going to learn to sing these songs in Japanese? I don't even know Japanese. How am I going to do it? Oh, first principles, you slow it down to half of the speed. So what you do is you pick your song. We'll just say it's Back in Black by AC/DC, right? You want to learn how to play Back in Black by AC/DC. maybe even the solo. But we're just gonna start with just a little bit. Let's say the first intro. Let's just say the intro. So what you do is you get the MP3, you throw it into the software, and then you put it at half of the speed, okay? And once you get it to half of the speed, with the software, you can select it to just repeat. So you got it at 50%, and then you're playing the riff. Duh. So the riff is da, da da da, da da da, right? So then half the speed would be this. Da, da da da, da da da. It's boring and it's slow. But how bad do you want to learn it? Because you could try to, if you're getting frustrated and you can't play that fast yet, this will help you get there 2 times faster. And the only way you're gonna know is if you do it. I know this works. Because otherwise you're gonna have to plow through. And you can get there by plowing through. But you're probably gonna have a lot more fun if you just slow it down for the beginning for a little bit. So 50%. The next thing you do is you would go to 80%. And then you would try it at 80%. If you can't do it at 80%, you go back to 50%. Now what I've been doing with these songs that I'm trying to sing in Japanese, that I am singing in Japanese, is I slow it down to 50%, I go through the entire song. Now there were times where I was selecting the verses and just running them on repeat at 50%, which you might have to do that. But here's a practice routine. Maybe it's 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs, 4 songs that you're trying to learn right now. Throw them in, play them once through at 50%, and then go 80%, and then go 100%, and then just move on to the next song. Or if you're really, really obsessed about learning the song, you can select the specific spots. And then what you can do is you can continue to select it out with the software, and you can continue to select it out as it goes. So you start with the intro, then you have the first verse. And then at the end of the first verse, it goes back to the intro. That's what's so cool about the software, is it allows you to repeat. That way you're not always having to hit back and back and back, which is something that YouTube does not allow you to do. So, I know it sounds backwards, but if you want to learn how to play guitar twice as fast, you got to slow it down to 50%, 80%, and then 100%. Or just go to 50% to 100%. Or, you know what, this is just advice. If you want to go out there and you want to try to do it at 100%, go ahead and do it. But if you're watching this video, that's probably not working for you. And you should use the tabs. The tutorials and all the tips and the tricks and the hacks aren't going to work. This is what works. You slow it down to 50%. And I'm probably going to make another video about this because I totally am aware that the structures of my videos are not very good, and I'm getting okay at doing the intros, but I'm not reading from a script at all. And you got to start slow. And this is what all your guitar heroes did, is they listened to records, they learned by ear, and then if they couldn't get it, they'd pause it, they'd slow it down, and they'd learn it because they had tabs, or they were learning it by ear. They were learning their favorite pieces of music by ear. They weren't looking at tutorials. Now there is an advantage for tutorials and live and YouTube and watching your favorite musicians play live, that you can see their technique and how they're playing certain things. So in that sense, I have nothing against tutorials. But really, you should be memorizing everything, in my opinion. Everything. Like, you know how many songs I've memorized? Hundreds. You know how many songs I've written? Hundreds. I'm releasing 2 songs every week. So like, once you get through this first hurdle of beginner and learning songs, because you want to learn them twice as fast, you want to learn them faster, you got to go slow first. And then you're going to get faster. Like, I've got these 4 songs. I'm learning 4 songs in Japanese right now. And not only that, some of the vocal melodies are way harder for me to reach. And yes, I did use AI tools to help me write these songs. The riffs and licks are all mine, and the structures are all mine, but the vocal melodies and the lyrics, I got help with AI. And I'm not for AI or against AI. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. So I see it as a tool. Just like you could say auto-tune or these drum machines, it doesn't matter. I can play these songs live, which is what I'm trying to do right now, but first I have to learn how to sing it. Anyways, some of the vocal, they sound impossible. It's like an impossible task. But I'm pretty sure the best way, and I could be wrong about this, I'm only gonna know it if I test it, for me to actually hit these high notes where I'm like screeching right now, is to be consistent, one, and do it slowly. Because I'm pretty sure the slower you go, it's easier to train your vocal cords this way. And I've hit high notes before. I used to learn a Muse song. It was super hard for me to get, and then I stayed persistent at every day, and I was able to get it. And it's training my ear too. It's not just the vocal cords, it's the ear. It's not just your fingers for guitar, it's your ear. Remember that. Super duper important. But yeah, so back to where I was getting at, if I get these 4 songs down, maybe one of them or 2 of them I drop because I still can't hit that vocal range yet. And let's say I'm trying, it's not about becoming a better singer, but if, say I could just keep training my vocal cords and everything, then, and the way I speak and speaking the language, which is probably the hardest part, the next song I do, which I already noticed, because I've got hundreds of these songs, the next song is going to be easier because I'm recognizing patterns in the language. And music is just a language. And when you recognize, you got to learn how to recognize the patterns. And if you can't recognize the patterns, or your ear's not fast enough yet, or your fingers are not fast enough, which is really, I think, your ears more than your fingers. It's a little bit of both, but I think it's mostly your ear. When you learn to recognize those patterns at a slow speed, it's going to help you get there faster than if you're just not be able to hear it all. It's like, would you rather be frustrated and quit because it's too fast? And you can get there by plowing. I'm not saying you can't do it, but there's been so many times where I've paused the recording and just slowed it down just for a second, and then I'm back to it. Because you have to do it. And this isn't Fran's list, but military has something that says slow and smooth, smooth is fast. There's plenty of quotes on this. So like this is the key. And then you have to have the mindset like, all right, how bad do I want this? If you don't want it bad enough to where you play it slow at first, then you do not want it bad enough. Or maybe you do. But you're welcome to try to play it at full speed. Because you're going to watch, what's going to happen is you're going to watch a tutorial. And how do I know this? Is because I've been teaching this for over a decade. And there's a rabbit hole. You're going to watch a tutorial. It's too fast. You're going to be like, okay. And then you're going to go on to the next thing, thinking you're going to find some magic thing. This is what you do if you want to get good at guitar. This is the gauntlet you have to go through. You have to learn songs. You have to make a list of songs, and then you just go learn them. You're like, easier said than done, Ty. Yeah, okay, so if it's too hard, start with 10 songs, right? You make a list of 10 songs. You start with the first one. You try to play it. Maybe it's way too hard, even at a slow speed. Then you go to the next one. I guarantee if you make 10, there's going to probably be 2 or 3 that you could probably get through if you just slow it down. And you don't go in there with the mindset that you're going to finish the whole thing right away. You got to, how do you eat an elephant? One bite-sized chunk at a time. And you got to stay consistent, and you got to stay persistent, and you got to have the mindset. You got to have a vision for the guitar player do you want to be. Do you want to jam with other people? Do you want to get up on stage? Do you want to play in a band? Do you want to start a band? What do you want to do? And then it's going to be pretty easy because you're going to know. And then when you have evidence and you have proof that slowing things down just works, it helps you get there faster. It's like an exponent. It's like, I'm trying, and then it starts to soar up. Versus if you're trying to just, like, if I just threw you in with somebody who spoke Spanish, for example, say it's not Japanese, we'll just take Spanish, right? You don't know any Spanish, it's going to be pretty hard for you to have a conversation. Now, at the same time, this is why I think accountability is really important, which is for another video. But if you were to go to like Spain and you were to, and nobody spoke English and you had to learn Spanish to survive, I guarantee you're going to learn Spanish a whole lot quicker than as if you were in a place that didn't speak Spanish at all and you're just trying to do it as a hobby or for fun, right? That's the thing. And that's what I realized about learning French in high school is that I never applied it. I was learning it for 4 years, but I never actually took the trips that the school offered, and I never went to France. So I don't know I remember like a couple things, like how to say hello, and my name is, and how are you? But the thing is, you're gonna recognize, I'm sure if I were to go to France and they just spoke French, and I wasn't hanging out with English people, and I was just trying to learn it, I would start to pick it up pretty quick, because I'd be doing it every day, especially if I spent a year there. So if I'm gonna go to like Spain, or if I'm gonna go to Japan for a year, I bet you I'm going to learn the language pretty quick. Maybe not how to read it, but I'll be able to speak it and communicate it. Because I'm going to start to recognize patterns. And music is the same way. It's a language. And the guitar is just the median of expressing that language. And, I already talked about slowing it down, but Japanese is super fast. They speak super fast. In Spanish, I'm pretty sure Spanish speaks super fast too. You think you're going to understand that? You're probably going to be like, hey, could you repeat what you said slowly? You got to slow it down, guys. That's how you learn songs twice as fast. And the only way you're going to know that is if you test it. And it's true. There's plenty of other things too. Military uses it. Anybody who wants to be extraordinary or good or great, they know you have to slow it down. I learned this principle first when I was playing soccer as a kid. And I've used it to help teach me to dance, learn dance moves. But in soccer, I was trying to learn this like back side kick pass. where you step forward and you kick the ball behind you, like a heel side kick. And I was just a kid, and some guy from I think Bosnia showed me this kick. I was like, I got to learn how to do that. And I couldn't do it, so I just slowed it down. And that's when I learned, okay, if I want to get anything down fast, I first have to do it slow. So you already know this. Anyways, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I've got a free course and I got a sprint. It's coming up September the 15th. If you want to do that, let me know. If you really want to get in contact with me, you know there's a way to get in contact with me. You just got to put in your email, and then you should get an email from my robot, and then you can email me back. If you're serious about getting good at guitar or good at music, or you're curious about the music theory stuff, the course is an advanced guitar course for guitar players who want to play lead guitar in particular and want to navigate the fretboard and improvise like a pro. And again, I'm sorry about the disorganization of these videos. I'm doing what is kind of like a 30-day video challenge. So eventually I'm probably just going to do one video a week. I'm really working on structuring it. I'm going to put in some like effects and things because music is what I do. This is like who I am, and I'm creating a personal brand around it. I might end up just doing a new video channel in case you're curious, but I've actually got a coaching session coming up, so I have to go. I'll see you in the next video.